And Mackenzie, I want to ask you at least because I think this is, I think, a bit of frustration. And I can tell that I think Kayla was kind of focused on too. I think all of us too is that obviously, I refer to you as the journalist of our crew here, but there does seem to be a hesitation from actually like news media to actually really like
Oh, yeah, I
get
was going to
into
comment.
it. Yeah,
hmm
yeah.
I was going to comment because everyone's scared. Everyone's scared. Like y'all said, this man has gotten away with murder at this point. Oh my gosh. I'm even scared to say that. Cause like we've seen it. And then the Don Lemon thing, honestly, which is why that was so dangerous, because it's like, wow, it can happen to anyone. We've seen it even behind closed doors, the stuff, the fallout about CBS. They got like a
Hmm.
new editor or like
The
a
editor
new
in
high
chief.
up. That black woman that was at MSNBC, she's out of there. So people aren't stepping up because at this point, if you step up, you're gonna be fired. It's like, or it's gonna be
Or
something
arrested.
crazy.
We can get
Or
you gone.
arrested. Or arrested. So that's literally the only reason. I mean, because now and then at this point, people are so connected, it could like you could be blackballed. So I think in short, people are genuinely scared because if it's happening to Don Lemon and he don't even work at a major company, and he had to use a lawyer from his old company that got rid of him. So even she might be stepping out. Like, it's
But
dangerous.
isn't that what it's gonna take for
I'm not
us?
saying if that's not what it's going to take. Yes, that's what it's going to take. But to answer, like, why aren't people stepping up? Because they're scared.
And if I could just go build on the media piece a little bit, and I think a lot of these things that Trump gets away with, there are so many levels to it that I think a lot of people miss out and don't understand because you got like the average person is not watching the news like we are. Like people are going about their lives. They could give a damn. But what I was going to say about the media, I posted a video about this, but I'm a little rusty on it. But there is a man, Larry Ellison, and his
Yeah.
son, Keith
Mhm.
Ellison. They are two billionaires who are basically building like a media monopoly. One of them just bought the US ownership in TikTok, which they are making super conservative. I think they even have people from Fox News on the board of that
Yeah.
now. And
Mhm.
then, like Mackenzie mentioned with CBS News, which they got a new person in there from, I think the other Ellison brother who appointed her, and
Mhm.
they've been becoming much more like softer towards the Trump administration. You got Jeff Bezos in charge of the Washington Post. He got rid of their entire, I think, opinion editorial board. He just laid off 300, a third of the people. So there's also like an intentional way that they're breaking down media a little bit and they're completely monopolizing it because you have all
Attack.
of the yeah, and then Elon Musk owns X and you can see it in the algorithm with the type of things that you're looking at. So you got to realize how many conservative people very close with Trump are in charge of some of the largest media corporations, which is the way that we are getting this news too. So that plays a big role in it as
No,
well.
I think you hit it. And I've like actually thought about making a video on this on for us on YouTube, where I think if you actually trace like most news is actually under kind of corporate ownership. Like if you look at NBC, that's Comcast. If you look at ABC, that's Disney. If you look at CBS, that's under Paramount. Like even like all places where you get news is kind of filtered up. Even if you go to, as you mentioned, Kayla, like if you go to X, it's Elon Musk. If you go to Facebook, which is like huge, that's under obviously what's that do with the name?
Mark
Zuckerberg, who
Zuckerberg,
has been
yeah.
super close to Trump.
Yeah.
And I think the only way to kind of get through that is actually, and I'll implore our listeners, is to actually like follow podcasts like us and follow what Kayla is doing, because increasingly the only way to actually get true, like actual understanding of what's going on without like corporate censorship or someone saying like, actually, I can't go do this because my parent company is going to come down on me for doing this. It's actually through following tons and tons of Black creators who are actually saying, like, I actually don't have to do what these other places are doing. And if anything, that's the reason why Don Lemon is now just a man on a street with a video camera, because he can now say, you know what? I don't have to send this to an editor. I am my own editor now. And I think the reason CNN would never let him go up in a church like he did, which is what got him in this mess. But I
But
think
shit,
that's
you see
actually the
what
truth
happened
is
to
like,
Jimmy Kimmel at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Like
mhm,
But he
that was
came
a
back
whole
though.
thing.
That was another thing though, even with Don Lemon, I definitely follow him. I'm just curious to what's going to happen after because to your point, yes, follow independent people. But the message that is also sending, if like you could be independent to an extent, because if even with Jimmy Kimmel,
mhm.
I feel like now are you going to be soft?
Yeah.
because then that's still the same thing. Don, like I don't think Don would be soft because I feel like, but like I mean, going to jail that's kind of scary. So would you play softer? And honestly, the way that he got out of jail was because of his connections. You
Because he
know,
had
like
money.
little old us, I don't know about that. So that's why I'm like with that, like it just sent a different message because at first, yeah, you can follow independent people, but damn, if the independent people getting locked up and then they come back and then they're not telling us the real information because they're scared, which I understand, but like it's all just messed up for real.
Yeah, and to that point, it's like the average independent person is not Don Lemon.
Yeah.
They don't have his network of lawyers, attorneys, or ability to say, you know what, I'm actually going to fight these charges. The
Hmm.
average person is not. I can't forget the life of me the other woman who was involved in who also got arrested, but she is not Don.
Georgia Ford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she doesn't have his resources. She just doesn't. So I think actually her legal situation is going to look a lot different if the government doesn't choose to settle.